that the of Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa has panics. ZANU-PF panics as they deploy the soldiers as well as the police to crush July 31st protest. We've seen heavy deployments, threat parceled left, right, and center upon faceless protesters. Just imagine if they knew them, what could happen, and they expect the government to actually try to target also, the political activists. As you heard some of the fools of ZANU-PF suggesting to the government, it appears like a suggestion, but it is a well-planned actually program to undertake that action. I hope the activists in Zimbabwe, even if you have not showed any support, if you're an activist, you're going to be targeted by these panicking. You know, people who are panicking can do anything, especially when in possession of dangerous weapons. That is exactly what ZANU-PF is doing at the moment. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, where were you? Please kindly press the red or black subscribe button, whichever the color it is, so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So the ZANU-PF government pressed the panic button on Wednesday, sending provincial ministers accompanied by soldiers and top police officers to threaten Zimbabweans planning protest on July 31st. The protests have been called by activists on social media against the recently passed constitutional amendments extending President Emerson Mnangagwa's term by 2 years from 2028 to 2030 and scrapping presidential elections in favor of a vote by parliament. Ezra Chadzamira, Minister of State for Masvingo Province, Owen Mudangube, Minister of State for Midlands Province, and Marian Chombo, Minister of State for Mashonaland West, were among wheeled out to warn protesters they faced arrest while assuring business they should open as usual on 31st of July 2026. Chombo, flanked by a military officer, a senior police officer, and a prisons chief, at a news conference, claimed authorities had taken note of attempts by detractors of peace and development to mislead and incite members of the public into acts of violence, destruction of property, and also destruction of businesses, schools, and farming activity. There is absolutely no evidence of this. As I said, ZANU-PF is the master of propaganda. They fear people and they don't have any reasonable logic to stop the protesters. So what do they have to rely on? They then create propaganda. Not only it's a well choreographed propaganda, make the military officers appear, make the ZRP senior officers to appear, make the prisons. It's an intimidation tactic. Those who fear, they will always use fear as a tool to instill fear to the people of Zimbabwe. They are possessed of the demon of fear. So they actually instill this fear to the people of Zimbabwe. It is only those who fear that will actually listen to these cowards. But if you observe carefully, these cowards, they are panicking, a lot of panicking. The more they speak, social media is firing up. People are getting ready, and people are getting ready to really, this time around, on their own, without a leader, show how great they are. She continues to say, we cannot allow a few individuals with selfish agendas to reverse the gains we have made in dam construction, road rehabilitation, rural electrification, and investment attraction. She said, this is all propaganda. No one has threatened to take down infrastructure. It does not belong to anyone. We know that these thieves that are trying to make use of this minor development to threaten us. In fact, they did not use their own money. In fact, they highly inflated figures to create this minor infrastructure that exists in Zimbabwe. So it's all lies, it's all hogwash. Nobody threatened violence, nobody threatened to destroy property. For example, I urged the people of Zimbabwe, in your streets, just stand in your streets, come out and stand in your streets, and never go out of the streets until Emerson Tambudzo Mnangagwa is removed from power. It's a lawful activity enshrined in the Constitution. From sections 58 to 61, you have a right to protest. But these individuals, because they are afraid of the people of Zimbabwe, they don't want Zimbabweans to exercise that right. They don't want Zimbabweans to exercise that channel. A government cannot just be removed through elections. A government can also be removed through protests, people coming out and saying, we are fed up. They know they don't have the people. 2018, Mnangagwa did not have the people. In 2023, Mnangagwa did not have the people. Even through this bill, that is why even the members of parliament that voted for him, they were bribed. They sold their soul. They did not voluntarily vote for this nonsense. They were actually bought. So he doesn't have even the members of parliament. That is why those who did not show up, they are being punished by ZANU-PF, because Mnangagwa does not have the support. That is the reality. In similar choreographed scenes, Muda Ncube appeared with his own security cast, including an Air Force of Zimbabwe chief. The public is advised, that is that idiot, the thug. What language can you expect from a thug? The public is advised to ignore these sponsored and illegal machinations. What is smoking is too strong. There is no one, whoever told these fools that the people of Zimbabwe cannot think, they cannot see that they're taken for a ride by these gangsters. They think the people of Zimbabwe have just empty, it's empty if you open in their heads. The people have brains, they can see facts, and they can see the terrorists, that these are terrorists, they don't deserve to be in government. There is no money that has been put. It is the propaganda of, in fact, individuals who have been sponsoring this chaos that we are witnessing in Zimbabwe. It is them. They sponsor chaos, and they think that to defend chaos, it is sponsored. Never. People of Zimbabwe can think, they can reason, they can actually, no one has sponsored anything. If we get a sponsor, if the people get a sponsor, it won't even take, if someone can really sponsor Zimbabweans to properly remove ZANU-PF, there are many volunteers who can actually take up that initiative, even if it means taking arms. There are many volunteers who can do so to uproot this evil in our land. So he says, security forces are on high alert to ensure peace and tranquility prevail and to allow normal business operations. Who can trade when the security apparatus are on high alert? What if they are defeated? Most of them, they are hungry. They can't even feed their own military. So if people can stand for the whole day, these people cannot withstand because they are hungry. Some of them, they have got so much debts because they are paid peanuts. Even themselves, they are not happy about these tax. So if they see you coming out in numbers, you would be rescuing them. And they must be warned. They must be warned, those who are paying for the blood of the innocent civilians. You will be recorded, you would be known. Zimbabwe at one point would be free. He says The protests have been backed by ZAPU, which notified the police of its intention to hold a peaceful gathering on 31 July 2026 to express opposition to the recent passing of Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Number 3 Act by the legislature and its promulgation by the executive. ZAPU said its opposition rests on the argument that the law change ought to have first been submitted to a referendum in terms of Section 328 of the Constitution, and that the amendments undermine rights enshrined in the Constitution, including political rights. In a statement also issued Wednesday, police said they had made deployments to all parts of the country for effective maintenance of law and order. In that regard, Zimbabweans must feel free to engage in normal day-to-day activities without hindrance. National Police spokesperson Commissioner Paul Nyati said, National Constitutional Assembly leader Professor Love Maduku begged the planned protest. What I have witnessed in recent days, Zimbabweans, by an overwhelming majority, are determined to defeat 2030 CAP 3 CAA 3 agenda, Maduku wrote on X, July 31, 2026, in the first of many days ahead, when the people will say peacefully no to 2030 CAP 3 CAA 3, we will win. One flag, this peace and Zapscott reference amendment number 8, while your other coverages refers to it as an Act 6 of 2026. Worth double checking which is correct before publishing, since it's used twice. So this the 31st of July already they are a big deal, and to me I have already sensed the success. I never thought that they will generate so much publicity. Never mind, even if it's negative publicity, publicity is publicity. At least the people of Zimbabwe are aware of what is happening. They are aware that their planned protest through ZPC. Whoever thought that ZPC will foolishly cover this protest? We see a panicking government. We see panicking Emerson Mnangagwa, and that on its own is historic. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Is signing out. Let me love and leave you.